can't, Colin. I've got a bit of a do on. They're raising money for our theatre by showing films of horse races. Absolutely. Not me at all. But Graham Wintergreen, the theatre manager, has invited me. I'm on the committee of the operatic. The things we have to suffer for our sense of civic responsibility.
A bit of a do. A bit of a do. Smiling faces in public places. Getting to know the in-laws much better than expected. A bit of a do. Invited to a bit of a do. It's a small town, posh affair. Best behavior, being aware of others who are doing it too. Others who are seeing through you. A bit of a do. All tickety-boo. The bride's dimension attracts attention. A scruffy young groom who defies convention. A bit of a do, bit of a do. Invited to a bit of a do. Do-do-do.
Ted, hello.
Oh, hello, Graham.
I was sorry to hear about...
Yes, well, yes, thanks.
It's 50p.
Eh? Oh, right, yeah.
There you go, sir. Just the job. Tickety-boo.
I'll get that.
I'm not that broke.
Ted, and 2 vodka tonics, please.
2 vodka tonics can do, no problem. Here we go.
You're early.
Yeah, well, cheers. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether I could face coming into a crowded room, you know what I mean?
Ted, nobody will gloat. We aren't like that. Now, the sympathy of every man and woman here tonight.
Sympathy? It's worse than gloating, is sympathy. It's a bugger, is sympathy.
I'll keep the change, Eric.
Oh.
Eric, you do me a favour. If my wife, if at any stage you think she's had a bit too much, well, let's face it, she has been known to, bless her, will you signal to me?
Certainly, sir. Can do, no problem. What sort of signal?
Oh, say raise your right arm high above your head, as if stretching, like so. Ooh, touch of rheumatism.
Ah, shame. Is Betty not here?
Oh, aye. We must all help to save our theatre, mustn't we? It'd be tragic if it goes under. Tragic.
Absolutely. It's a nice little theatre, isn't it?
Well, we've never actually been.
Oh, you should. It's very attractive. You'd never know it was built on the site of an abattoir.
How's Liz?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Oh. Ah, at last.
Hello, Ted, love. Mwah. Hello, Lawrence.
Betty, you look very,
Thank you. It's my teeth. I've decided not to sue you after all. I'd have had to keep them as you left them for months and mumble at everybody. So I've had the bridge redone on the National Health. Half the price and twice as good.
Betty.
How's Rita?
I haven't the faintest idea. I haven't seen her.
Oh, well, you'll see her tonight.
You will?
She's coming. Neville's giving her a lift.
Never.
Everybody all right?
Yeah.
Oh. Congratulations, Lawrence.
Oh, thank you, Graham.
Lawrence, could I, Now, I don't know if this is good news or bad news, but I met Liz in town. She's coming tonight.
Ah. Well, she's always been a great aficionado of the boards. Thank you for warning me, Graham. I don't know what Graham had to be so mysterious about. It was just to tell me that Liz is coming tonight.
Good. Hope you'll be very happy.
Congratulations.
I'm a grandfather. Jenny's had a little boy.
Oh, lovely. Bless her.
Weighed 8 pounds, 10 ounces, and they're calling him Thomas.
She was so sure it was going to be a girl.
Ah, well, there you are. That's life. Can I get you a drink to celebrate?
Oh, well, under the circumstances, 2 vodka tonics. Thank you.
Under the circumstances. You make it sound as if there were circumstances under which you'd have refused.
Well, there are.
Such as?
If it were Lawrence who'd gone bankrupt.
Yes, well, he should have for what he did to me. Or been struck off or defrocked or whatever happens to dentists.
Drilled out, I expect.
Oh, you know, people never fail to surprise me. I'd never have thought Lawrence was the sort of man to remember a baby's weight.
£8.10's probably the price of a fillet steak at the Majestic. This could be a very interesting evening.
This could be a marvellous evening.
Marvellous.
Reconciliation between Ted and Rita, between Lawrence and Liz.
Well, I hardly thought you want Lawrence and Liz to get back together again.
Oh, but I do. They deserve each other.
Ted's still bankrupt, though, whichever road you look at it.
Hello.
Hello.
How are things in the world of intensive chicken farming?
Very good.
As long as you're not an intensive chicken.
Betty.
Good, good. What are you two having to... What are you two planning to put your money on in the first race?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't studied the form yet.
Oh, I don't intend to study the form. Winning isn't the object of the exercise. The object of the exercise is to give for our theatre.
Absolutely. Well done. Rita, what are you having?
Gin and tonic, please, Neville.
Ted's here.
I know, I've seen him.
I think he'd like a word with you.
Good. I look forward to hearing what he has to say.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Well, to Thomas.
Thomas.
Thomas. He's podgy, pink, bald and smelly.
Exactly.
Pardon?
Well, I'd never have thought you were a lover of babies. I was surprised you remembered his weight.
Ah, well, to be honest, I might not have, but £8.10 happens to be the price of a rump steak at the Majestic.
God, their prices have got worse. I thought it were a fillet.
Pardon?
Oh, bless him. Oh, he looks just like you, Paul.
Mum?
No, I mean like you were at his age.
What, do you mean he'll grow up to look like Paul?
Jenny?
Are you disappointed it's a boy?
No, I'm glad. I felt guilty about being so sure it was a girl. I'd hate to burden it with sexist favouritism before it was even born. Yes. Oh, Lord.
What?
Little Uncle Neville wanted children so much.
Hello! Oh, hello. Hello, Liz. You're dressed to kill. Who's the victim?
Jenny. Oh, my word. Oh, he's getting to look just like you did at that age. Oh, you
Hello,
good.
Tom. Hello, little Tommy. Hey, I suppose I'm an uncle now.
It's Thomas, and will you keep that smoke away from him?
Sorry. Hello, Thomas. I'm your dad's brother. I'm your Uncle Elvis. That doesn't sound right. He's pretty repulsive, isn't he?
Oh, shut up, Elvis. Your pseudo-macho cynicism's a bore.
Oh, Jenny, is your brother going to be here?
I think so. Why?
I enjoy insulting him. He takes it so seriously.
Well, listen, I'll take him upstairs. They've got the baby minding service, so come on, Nicky.
Yes, he is.
Oh, well. How's my little grandson then, eh? Oh, look, he looks grand.
He's great. Have you seen Rita?
No, I'm spoken to her, you know, what can I say?
You'll have to talk to her sometime, Dad.
Yeah, I was rather hoping that she'd talk to me, you know.
I think under the circumstances, it's up to you to speak to her.
Yes, I know, but...
They're talking about you.
It's going to be embarrassing for you if yours goes up looking like Ted, isn't it?
Please, Rita. I did love him, you know.
Yeah, for several months. Your persistence does you credit.
Well, I'd have thought you'd be pleased I'd left him.
It makes me very angry. You broke up my marriage, and for what? The moment he's bankrupt, you're off like a shot.
Well, that's unfair.
Is it? You shied away from the social disgrace like a terrified horse.
That is an exaggeration. I stood by him for 3.5 weeks after it happened.
Do you want a medal?
Oh, it was an awful time. I mean, we had no money. We couldn't go out.
Millions have to live their whole lives like that.
Yes. I've realised how much I admire him.
Well, it's a start, I suppose.
Ted didn't make it easy, Rita. Oh, he can be a difficult man.
Oh, really? Thank you for that information. I didn't realise that. But then I've only been married to him for 26 years.
I want to say one thing, Rita. Please, don't blame Ted. The whole affair was entirely my fault.
Ladies and gentlemen, please. Good evening. My name's Graham Wintergreen. I'm the manager of the Theatre Royal, the so-called gem of Slaughterhouse Lane. I'll be running the tote. We're going to show you a film of 6 races. All the profits go to the theatre, so please bet generously. We have a very special guest here tonight, the well-known actor Harvey Wedgwood. Harvey starred in our very first production, and he certainly didn't seem like a lamb being led to the slaughter. Well, he hasn't arrived yet, but he's reported to be on his way. There'll be a folk supper after the second race, and I'm told that the Hotel Goulash is never forgotten by those who've experienced it. Thank you.
Entirely your fault. How dare you insult me by suggesting I spent half my adult life with a man so pathetic he isn't responsible for his own actions?
Let's not argue in public, Rita. We're supposed to be supporting the drama, not making it.
All rather bad form, would you say?
Well, yes, I would.
What will people think?
Well, yes.
It's funny, I've worried about that all my life. Now, I hardly seem to give a damn.
Mum, will you talk to Dad?
Of course I will.
Oh, good, thanks.
Mum, are you and Dad going to talk to each other?
I think that's up to him. I'm not going to humiliate myself by making the first move.
There's someone I'd like you to meet, Dad. Dad, this is Mum.
Hello, Lawrence.
What a memory you have for names.
They're at the post. And they're off. And going for the lead on the inside, that's number 1 with number 5 out in the middle of the track. Number 2 charging up now between horses. It's number 1, number 2, and number 5 as they go down the backstretch. It's number 1 in front, and there goes number 2 up to challenge for the lead. Number 2 now on even terms and now going to the front. It's number 2 in front with number 1 second. Number 5 in white is in 3rd position. Number 4 in green along the inside 4th. That's number 8 5th. Number 6 is 6th. Number 7 7th. And trailing it's number 3. And as they move around the turn, that's number 2 now gaining the lead. Number 5 in white charging up on the outside is now second as number 1 drops back to be third. Number 4 in 4th position. Number 6 is 5th. Number 7 6th. Number 3 is 7th. And trailing it's number 8. And as they move around the turn, it's number 2 saving ground with number 5 challenging on the outside. Number 5 now gaining the lead as they come into the stretch. It's number 5 in front with number 2 second. Number 4 coming on now to be third. Number 6 is 4th. Number 1 is 5th. Number 7 6th. And now they're coming to the wire. And it's number 5 now opening up a clear lead with number 2 second. Number 4 on the outside in green and gold is now in 3rd position and now moving up to be second. And as they go onto the wire, the winner by 4 lengths is number 5 with number 4 second. Number 2 was 5th.
Well done, love.
I'm supposed to be supporting a charity, not winning. I want people like Ted who need it to win. Don't go, Ted.
Oh, I'm only going to the gents.
Oh, what a relief.
Well, it will be for me and all if you let me go.
Oh. Could I have a word with you in private, Ted? There's a kind of storeroom in the corridor directly opposite the lift. See you there in a minute.
There you go, madam. Just the job, tickety-boo.
Thank you, Eric. Oh, could I ask you to do me a favour? If you notice that Rodney's having a bit too much, I mean, he has been known to, bless him, could you give me some sort of signal?
Certainly, madam. Can do. No problem. But what sort of signal?
Well, if you could just raise your right arm as though flexing it.
Oh, dear, I'm afraid it'll have to be my left arm.
Why?
Pull my shoulder.
Now, Elvis, how's our philosophy graduate enjoying life amongst the frozen poultry?
If you were my brother's wife's brother, I'd make my highly desirable manual extremity extremely convenient for your spacious breathing and blowing organ.
Pardon?
I'd punch on the nose. I was using estate agent ease.
This is a false image of our profession, Elvis.
Oh, yeah. I went to look at that place in Power Station Lane yesterday. You said plenty of scope for improvement. You meant it's falling down. You said totally secluded garden. You meant the cooling towers block off the sun completely. Lies, Simon, lies.
Not lies, Elvis. Sensible rearrangement of the truth.
I see. Well, if you continue to make fun of me, you snobbish, supercilious, dark-suited, light-minded, overprivileged, undereducated, overpaid underling, I shall make a sensible rearrangement of your face.
Building the family friendship. Great.
Paul!
Carol, we can't talk here. There's a storeroom in the corridor directly opposite the liquor. Meet me there in a couple of minutes.
Rodney. Oh. What's this all about?
I'd like to give you my winnings so you've something to bet with. I didn't want folks to see.
I don't want your charity. I'm a Yorkshireman.
It isn't charity, Ted. It's lifelong friendship. Look, there's no use pretending you haven't gone bankrupt.
I haven't. I've gone into voluntary liquidation. It isn't bankruptcy, it isn't voluntary liquidation.
You got cash problems. As of now, the land deal is skint. And you know you'd help me out if I went back into voluntary liquidation.
Well, of course, but you haven't, have you? I mean, you're taking staff on. You even took our Elvis on.
Yeah, you weren't too pleased either.
Well, no, I mean, it rubbed you in a bit that I couldn't, didn't it?
I didn't take Elvis on to rub anything in, Ted. I took him on out of family friendship. My business isn't doing too well either, by the way.
Don't tell me that soon you'll be going into voluntary liquidation.
Well, I'm not saying I will, I'm saying I could.
Well, that's a bit irresponsible, taking our Elvis on there, wasn't it?
Well, I have to take on staff to create the confidence to avert the crisis that might cause me to sack them if I hadn't taken them on.
No, I don't want your money, do I? Things are that bad.
It isn't my money, it's my winnings. You said you'd help me if I got into trouble. I'm just paying you back for your kindness, tit for tat. Only I'm doing it in advance, so tat for tits.
I don't want it, Rodney. Rodney, I'm telling you.
Sorry, am I interrupting something?
No, absolutely nothing. We were just
leaving. Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Paul.
Oh, heck.
Cheers.
Cheers. So you at least are still prepared to talk to me?
My dear Liz.
I'm not wildly popular just now. The same people who were furious with me for going to live with Ted are even more furious with me for leaving him.
My dear Liz, it's always a joy to talk to you. Now, I must take Rita her drink.
You're being very attentive to her.
I've had her on my conscience.
What?
It's very embarrassing. She keeps trying to cheer me up. Tells me I'll get over it. Time is a great healer, that sort of rot. What she doesn't seem to realize is I want to hang on to my grief because it's the only thing of Jane I have left. I've been inexcusably rude to Rita several times. Jane was very upset.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, Lord, I'm not going mad, Liz. I know Jane's dead. But she comes to me in dreams, and she seems so real. She ticked me off last week for being so rude to Rita. Jane laid great store by manners. I'm being very charming to Rita for Jane's sake.
Rita does have a point.
What?
You must try and live in the present.
Why don't you shut up? What do you know about what it's like?
I'm Harvey Wedgwood, the actor.
I'm Neville Badger, the solicitor.
Ah, I know you, don't I?
Very possibly.
Yes, you've just taken over the off-licence in Frog Lane, haven't you?
I'm Harvey Wedgwood, the actor.
Oh, good Lord, I'm sorry.
Please, it's such a bore being constantly recognized. Now, tell me about yourself. You are who?
Oh, I'm just Ted Simcock.
And what do you do for a crust, Ted Simcock?
Well, I used to have a little foundry, but I've gone into voluntary liquidation.
Well, I once played a bankrupt. The critics said I was too cheerful. They always do, but I believe in looking on the bright side. What's wrong with that? Ted, I want you to meet the lady I was lucky enough to be introduced to tonight. Liz Rodenhurst, Ted Simcock.
How do you do?
Ow! You're hurting.
Good. Now you know how it feels to be squeezed through a mangle.
I get the impression you two know each other.
Inside out.
Well, do excuse me. Uncle Harvey must go and place his bet on the next race, eh?
Well, what does it feel like to be back in the world of comfort and respectability?
You didn't exactly make it easy for me to stay.
You didn't exactly make it easy for me to make it easy for you to stay. Was Lawrence looking forward to bringing up my baby?
I haven't seen him. I must say, Ted, I admire your courage in coming.
Not half as much as I admire yours. They're saying far worse things about you than they are about me.
It'll be all right in here. Everyone we know is in the functions room. I don't want to arouse suspicion.
Oh, is that why I suggested meeting in the storeroom?
I didn't know my dad would be in there. I'm a happily married man, Carol. I don't want to destroy that.
You should have thought of that before you...
Yes, I know. But my wife needn't know, need she?
I don't even know your wife.
Yeah, well, she's here tonight, so if you could avoid
Well,
her...
I've no desire to meet her.
I didn't mean to do what I did. I just had a son. I was exalted.
You were as exalted as a newt.
Well, you were pretty exalted yourself. Oh, Carol, you're lovely. And it was lovely. And I wish it hadn't happened.
But it has happened.
Yeah, I know. Look, Carol, can we just please say goodbye? Sorry, thank you very much. Part as good friends, and if we ever meet again, just pretend that we don't know each other.
Can you give me one good reason why I should agree?
Well, no.
Oh, heck. Now, you are who?
Rita.
Rita! What a lovely name.
Thank you. You're at Harvey Wedgwood, aren't you?
Alas, my anonymity is shattered, but let's not talk about me. Actors are so boring. Our job is to observe, to listen. Now, tell me about yourself, eh?
Oh, I'm just a very ordinary woman.
Rita, nobody is ordinary. Don't sell yourself short. My agent used to say to me, Harvey, never sell yourself short. Always remember you're a genius.
I saw you in Dance of Death at Dewsbury.
Oh, really? Yes, I thought I was rather good in that. I brought out an optimistic side, which is usually sadly lacking in Strindberg. But let's not talk about me. Now, tell me about yourself. Your fears, your hopes, your dreams. What did you dream about last night, eh? You spilled the beans to Uncle Harvey.
Well, last night, actually. It's a bit silly, really. I dreamt I was a rabbit.
That sounds like one for Clement Freud rather than Sigmund. Eh? Rita, I want you to meet a very good friend of mine, Ted Simcoe. Ted, meet Rita, who dreams she's a rabbit. I'm afraid I didn't catch your other name.
Simcoe.
Yeah. What?
Exactly.
What you mean?
Precisely.
But I thought that Ted and...
Absolutely.
Ah.
Rita, we must have a serious talk.
Look, my friends, take a leaf out of Uncle Harvey's book and look on the bright side, eh? Forgive and forget, hmm? Enough said. Exit Harvey Wedgwood tactfully, stage left.
Rita, why don't you sit down and I'll get you a drink?
Mr. Wedgwood, aren't you?
Oh, please, call me Harvey. And you are...
Lawrence. I saw your Othello in Leeds.
Yeah. Oh, well, never mind about that. What do you do, Lawrence, eh?
Me? I'm a dentist.
Oh, priceless. Absolutely right.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you being a dentist. Well done, the great casting director in the sky. Now, it would be selfish of me not to ask what you thought about my Othello.
Well, I thought the critics were unnecessarily cruel.
I never read the critics. I mean, if the Daily Telegraph wants to say I showed all the passion of a man who has just discovered that Desdemona has bought some rather expensive curtain material, let them. I mean, what do they know? Can they act? Look, the public has paid good money. They don't want to go home feeling depressed. Let's talk about you. Now, tell me about your fears, your dreams. What did you dream about last night?
Well, it's stupid, but I dreamt I was Welsh.
Oh, my God, a nightmare, eh? No, that's not fair. Just because they booed my Peer Gynt at Port Talbot. Lawrence, I want you to meet a very particular friend of mine, the very ravishing and deliciously naughty Liz Rodenhurst. Liz, you of the wonderfully wandering eyes, meet Lawrence, the dreaming dentist. I'm afraid I didn't get your other name.
Rodenhurst.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Precisely.
Liz. Isn't it about time we had a serious chat about things? I'm so sorry. One picks up the conversational style of the place. Exit Harvey Wedgwood, stage left, in utter confusion.
Shall we talk?
If you like.
So, where are you living?
I rented a very cheap and thoroughly nasty flat.
My heart bleeds for you.
Sorry to hear about your mother.
It's
Better than lingering.
Yes, I'm sorry I was away when it happened.
Make it sound as if you'd gone for a weekend break at Morecambe.
How this icy silence takes me back.
It's called the companionship of marriage. What is there to talk about? After all, we know each other's views on everything.
My views may have changed. I have been in a different world.
I imagine that was part of the attraction. But you didn't like that world quite so much when you were in it.
Well, I've got a job.
Rita!
Well, there's no need to sound so amazed.
Oh, I'm thrilled. I mean, what a turnaround. Everyone in the family's working except me. Terrific.
It's only secretarial. It's for a finance company.
Oh, well, naturally. Nobody's making anything round here, except money.
Ladies and gentlemen, people have very generously bought horses in 5 of the races, but for the next race, we're going to auction the horses here tonight. Now, I never do things the obvious way.
So I've heard.
So, I'm going to take the horses in reverse order. Now, who'll start me off with horse number 7?
£50.
Thank you, sir. Any advance on £50? Sold to Mr. Rodney Sillytoe, Managing Director, Cockadoodle Chickens. Would you like to name your horse, sir?
Oh, could I call it Beautiful Betty?
Oh, it's your lovely man.
Ah, bless you.
Horse number 6.
Go on. Don't be mean for once.
God, this is so undignified. £20.
£20, 50p.
Rita, I can't afford it.
Push him up.
Go on. Don't let them beat you.
£21.
21.50.
Rita!
Lawrence.
They're making us a laughing stock. £22.
22.50.
Rita!
Oh, she'll make him go on and it'll mortify him. And if he stops, it'll mortify her.
Don't let them get it. Just for once, win.
Sir, it's with you. £23. Thank you, sir.
23.50.
Sir? £24. Thank you, sir.
24.50.
Sir? Nice round 25. Sold to Rita Simcock for £24.50.
Oh, dear. Go on, give me a name for it.
What about Tremendous Ted?
You must be joking.
No, I mean, it's a gesture of reconciliation.
I'd like to call it Karl Marx.
Rita!
Well, stir him up a bit. Thank you.
They're off. And that's number 8 on the outside, going for the lead with number 1 charging up along the rail. Number 5 between horses. Number 3 is 4th. Number 7, 5th. Number 2 on the inside, 6th. Number 4 is 7th, and trailing it's number 6. And as they move along the back stretch, that's number 5 between horses, now taking the lead by a head. Number 1 along the rail in red is 2nd. That's number 8 on the outside, 3rd. Then a gap of 3 lengths. After that is number 3 in 4th position. Number 2 is 5th. Number 7 is 6th. Number 4 is 7th, and trailing it's number 6. Moving around the turn, it's number 5, number 8, with number 7 on the extreme outside. Number 1 moving into a contending position. And as they come through the stretch, it's number 7 now gaining the lead. Number 7 in front with number 5 second and tiring somewhat. Number 5 is in 3rd position. Number 4 is 4th. And now they're driving to the wire, and it's number 7, number 1, number 5, and here comes number 4 and number 2. And it's a blanket finish, a photo finish for 1st position between number 7 and number 4. And there you see the photograph. The winner by a nose was number 7, number 4 was 2nd, and number 2 3rd. It's official.
I didn't want to win. It isn't the point.
I'm sorry, Rita. I'll never stray again.
You seem to assume I'm having your back.
Rita?
You wouldn't expect me to have your back after what you've done without making you beg for forgiveness now, would you?
No, I suppose not. It just isn't me isn't begging. I'm very sorry, Rita. I've been a fool. When I saw her for what she was.
Yeah, would you have ever seen her for what she was if you hadn't gone bankrupt?
Voluntary liquidation.
If you were still in business, you'd still be with her.
No, I wouldn't, love, honestly. I mean, I'd long since realised what a fool I'd been. And I had, love, honestly. So, well, I've begged. Will you take me back, my love?
No.
You what?
Ladies and gentlemen, the fork supper is now served.
Rita, where you going?
I'm hungry.
Well, sit down. What's got into you?
Life.
You are?
In the last few months, I've lost both my parents and my husband. I had to learn to stand on my own feet.
You needn't have lost me, my love.
Oh, I've lost you, whether or not you come back. Ted, I've changed. I've gained confidence.
What do you mean, on your own, without me?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Just don't understand it.
Oh, it's simple. When you step out of the shadows, you feel the sunshine.
Rita, I haven't failed, you know. No, I'm moving laterally into design, you know, toasting forks, door knockers, things I know.
I'm not having you back because you failed, Ted.
Are you saying you'd rather be on your own than with me?
Those aren't the only alternatives.
Oh, come on, Rita. I mean, come on,
Oh, look at me. Is that what you were going to say?
No, love, no, honestly, it's just that... Well, you're not young anymore. I mean, you aren't, are you? And I mean, well, without being rude, I mean, who'd have you? That's worth having, I mean.
Neville. And now I'm going to get some of that goulash.
You know, the younger of the Kirkstall girls, the one we sometimes think isn't quite right. She came in last week. She'd had an abscess for 8 days, and nobody had done a thing about it. 8 days.
Much as I admire your gift for storytelling, Lawrence, can I go and get my fork supper?
No, please. I'm sorry. I was just making small talk to, well, it's my halting, clumsy way of saying what for some reason I find very difficult to say. I am prepared to forgive and forget.
I believe you could forgive, too. I don't deserve it. But forget? How could you? This is a baby.
It'll bring us together again. It'll breathe new life into our marriage.
But it isn't yours.
We're talking about a human being. The idea of possessing it seems to me to be terribly wrong.
Yes, but not only is it not yours, but you know whose it is.
That is a bit more serious, I admit. But
You hate Ted. You drove all the way to the municipal dump to throw away his companion set.
because it was falling to bits, not because it was his. The tongs were bent, the brush head came off, the poker kept unscrewing, and that shovel buckled if you put a lump of coal larger than a plover's egg on it. If that's an example of his produce, I'm not surprised he went into voluntary liquidation.
Bankrupt? And you hate him. I mean, supposing our child's a boy and looks like him. Supposing it's a girl and looks like him.
It'll be a challenge. I need a challenge, Liz. In the current jargon, I need to be stretched as a human being. Liz, please, I'm serious. I don't think I can stand living in that empty great house.
Oh, Lawrence, it's not really any wonder I went off, is it? That cry came from the heart and there wasn't a mention of me in it. Oh, Lawrence, move from that empty great house into a little service flat. Join clubs. Go to lounge bars. Expand your practice. Play golf. Be happy. Without me.
Liz.
Oh, you're a natural bachelor. Accept it at last. It's better for both of us.
This really is final.
Fred, so... somebody else?
Already? I'm sorry.
There's no reason why you should believe me, but this is serious. It's the real thing.
And who is this somebody who's serious and the real thing?
Neville. I'm going to get some of that fork supper.
As they come around the stretch turn, it's number 3 still in front, with number 2 Charge charging up on the outside now in second position. Number 8 is third. That's number 4 in fourth position. Number 5 is fifth. And now they're coming through the stretch, and that's number 2 now gaining the lead. It's number 2 in front, and here comes number 4 on the outside. Number 1 moving up strongly. As they come to the wire, it's number 2 in front by 2.5 lengths, with number 4 second and number 1 along the inside third. There you see the order of finish. It's official.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the last race was number 2. So for the last time tonight, it's payout time for the lucky winners.
Congratulations, Mr. Sillitoe. What an evening you've had.
I didn't want to win, Simon. I wanted to give.
Oh, but you do give, Mr. Sillitoe. You'll be giving new jobs to the community when we find those new premises for you.
New premises? Are you moving?
Expanding. I'm handling it personally. Mr. Sillitoe's my first big client.
Simon.
Sorry, was it a secret?
It was, yes.
Only from me, Simon. Clearly, I wasn't supposed to know. You think I can't face the truth because you think I'm a failure?
Sorry.
Take my advice, Simon. Don't have friends. The more trouble than they're worth.
Hello, Paul. Here it's double clause for celebration. You've landed a job?
Yes, he's a municipal highways operative.
Really? Jolly good. Well done. What exactly is a municipal highways operative?
It's a state agencies for road sweeper.
Still prepared to be seen talking to me?
Why does everybody think we're purveyors of untruths?
That's a state agencies for liars.
Look, I know you both think I'm an upper-class twit.
Simon, we don't think that. We think you're a middle-class twit.
Yes, well, I'd just like to say one thing. I love my little sister. But you see, your cosy flat...
Our tiny flat.
Your compact, easily maintained flat is one of the many places to which I've never been invited.
Paul. And I thought you always did your bit for the world's underprivileged.
Shut up, Elvis. I'm sorry, Simon. We will invite you. Well, soon. I promise.
Go and take that drink to Jenny, Paul, before she dies of thirst. I'm going to buy Simon a drink.
Good Lord.
Hey, Paul. What were you doing in that storeroom with that girl?
Oh, nothing, Dad. Nothing serious. Hardly. Well, nothing at all.
No, I hope not.
Well, you're hardly in a position to be giving me moral advice, are you?
I'm not giving you moral advice, I'm giving you practical advice. Bad news, women. Oh, they're fickle.
And we're as solid as rocks, are we?
Paul, men are different. We're different, we are.
When women play around, the fickle bitches. When men play around, the men of the world. That's rock-bottom male chauvinist hypocrisy, Dad.
Hey, look, whose side are you on?
Women's. Jenny's.
Oh, well, you're a funny way of showing
Well,
it.
don't you think I don't know that, Dad?
Yeah. Well, anyway, if you haven't done anything serious, it won't worry you that girl's talking to Jenny then, will it?
Well. Oh, my God.
Oh, Paul, this is Carol Fordingbridge. She used to be Dad's receptionist.
Hello, Paul.
Hello, Carol.
Well, you look as lovely as ever, Carol.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, not that I know how lovely she looked before, but, I mean, well, put it this way. If she's gone off significantly, then she must have been absolutely, unbelievably fantastic before. So yes. Yeah. I would say, on balance, that I'd assume that she is as lovely as ever. As you so rightly say.
Well, thanks. Hey, I hear you've got a little boy.
Oh, yes. How did you hear that?
Oh, you know how news gets around this town. If you burp in the Aycliffe Road flats, it's all around the Whartley Industrial Estate by morning.
So what are you up to these days, Carol?
I'm the distribution manager's secretary at Cockadoodle Chickens. I'm working with your brother.
Are you all right, Paul?
Oh, yeah. I'm great. I've never felt better.
No for me.
Not bad food, eh?
No. Well, I've never rated goulash, me. In my book, it's just foreign stew. Rodney, I wondered if you'd mind if I borrowed Betty for a while. I need some advice about Rita, you know, some woman's advice.
Of course you can.
Oh, thank you. I had a word with her. I've had a word with Rita.
Yes, I know, I saw you.
Yeah, well, the thing is, she says, she reckons there's another man.
What?
So, I know. She says it's Neville.
What?
So, I know. But, I mean, she did come with him, didn't she? You know, I mean, well, I thought, you know, being a woman, well, couldn't you find out for me if there was anything in it? Not that there can be, but I mean, you know, I mean, could you?
Oh, well, not a bad meal, was it, considering?
Ted ate goulash. I enjoyed it.
Rita?
Well,
You and Neville are very friendly tonight.
Ted's told you what I said, hasn't he?
No.
Yes. Well, I think it surprised me almost as much as it surprised him when I said to him. What I mean, I've been thinking. I mean, it's been very odd. He's been very rude sometimes, and then tonight, incredibly charming, very attentive. Well, I mean, is it that impossible? Am I that awful?
Rita, of course not.
Well, I've been wondering. I mean, I was thinking maybe he was being so rude because he resented the fact that he was beginning to find me... I can't say it.
Attractive?
Yes. Well, I mean, look at tonight. I mean, you see, maybe the rudeness was out of a sort of loyalty to his wife's memory.
What would you do if he did? Did what? Or did anything?
Well, he's a very attractive man.
Rita?
Well, could there possibly be anything in it?
Yes, I think they very possibly could.
Excuse me, Neville, could I possibly have a little word?
Yes, of course. Excuse me.
You're a very kind-hearted man, aren't you? Well known for it.
Well, I try to be.
And your late wife was a very kind-hearted woman, wasn't she?
Very much so.
Yeah, well, I think that you're the sort of man who, out of respect for his late wife's memory, for nothing else, the sort of man who would never hurt anyone deliberately.
I hope I am, Ted.
Right. And you may think, well, nobody would get hurt. But you'd be wrong, Neville. You'd be very, very wrong. Need I say more?
Well, yes, I think you do need.
Well, you mean you haven't got me drift?
Frankly, Ted, I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about.
Then maybe we ought to say no more about it.
About what?
Good man. Yeah, well, you won't mention this to anyone, will you?
I couldn't if I tried.
No, right. Thanks a lot.
Oh, thank you.
There we are. Rita, I have recently landed a very small part in the new production of Hamlet. They seem to think I can bring a bit of much-needed relief to the gloom of Elsinore. Now, I want you to promise that you'll come and see it and come backstage after.
Oh, you'd be horrified if I did, if you even remembered me.
Oh, I'm not that drunk. Come on, please. Promise.
All right. I promise.
Oh, good, good. A little kiss for Uncle Harvey. Very well. It's Dan the dental man. My old friend Lawrence. Do you know my old friend Rita? Well, of course you do. Now, listen. You two have both been badly bruised. Why not heal your wounds together? Well, Lawrence dreams that he's Welsh. Rita dreams she's a rabbit. Together you could dream your Welsh rabbits.
What an awful man.
Oh, I rather like him. Oh, don't worry, Lawrence. I prefer you.
What?
Your place or mine.
Pardon?
For our affair. Thank you.
What for?
For trying not to look too horrified. I was teasing, Lawrence.
Teasing. Teasing? You?
Yes. What can have got into me?
Neville, can I have a word?
Well, yes, of course.
As a close friend, would you think very hard before embarking on a course of action that would hurt and humiliate me?
Well, of course.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
You don't?
No.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
I'm not sure. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not sure I know what I'm talking about.
I'm all right for a lift home, am I then, Neville?
I understood that. Rita, you're a breath of sanity in a mad world.
Oh! You couldn't by any chance give me a lift home, could you, Neville?
Absolutely. The more the merrier.
Ah. But my car has broken down. It is terribly inconvenient having access to only one car.
Oh, poor dear.
Yes, well. Come on, girls.
Can you help me, Jenny?
What?
My chickens live in conditions that would make the average Iberian labour camp look like a Masonic dinner by comparison with...
Oh, Rodney.
My chickens never get a chance to roll up one trouser leg and become chief constables. You'll help me let them out this time, won't you?
I'm sorry. Well, I don't think that's the way to do it.
I am disappointed in you, Jenny. How do you feel about doing something really amazing tonight?
Absolutely, but with whom?
With me.
You have allowed a popular prejudice against the theatre to cloud your judgment.
Oh, no, not that. Eric, will you come and help me?
Sorry, Mr. Silliter.
All my chickens have come home to roost, and it's time for them to go and roost somewhere else.
Absolutely, Mr. Silliter. Just the job. I'm just a bit busy at the minute.
Oh, no.
Oh, Rodney. I thought you said you couldn't raise your right arm.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Betty, are you drunk again?
Not me, you. Come on,
dear.
Rodney, home.
It's
love.
just the
No,
one.
not just the one or the two or anything. Come on. You know.
No reconciliation, then?
No. Nor you?
No. Ah, we're better off without them, Lawrence. I mean, we are.
Please don't try and pretend you've done me a favour, Ted.
Well, Lawrence, just don't be like that. Lawrence, we're both in the same boat now, you and I. I mean, we are. Lawrence. You know who your friends are at times like this, don't you?
We're your friends, Dad.
Yes, definitely.
I thought you were angry with me, if you know what I'd done.
Well, we are, but I don't think we expect people to be perfect anymore.
Good night, son.
Good night, Dad.
Good night, Jenny.
Except you.
You are.
I think you're perfect. Night, Carol. Night, Jenny. Night, Paul.